Today, 19th February 2023, and we are meeting for our CSAT session. Here is Mangesh D Borkar Sir, Director Sambodhi IAS Academy, THANE West. And today, on this very auspicious day, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Jayanti, I wish you all a very happy Shiva Jayanti. And at the same time, I'm expecting that the students of Sambodhi Academy, which has been creating so many officers since 2006, okay, more than 700 officers. So like already in administration, we have sent so many officers and our officers are doing well. Okay, our IS officers, IPS officers, IRS officers, audit account services, different account services officers through staff selections, MPSC, banking, intelligence bureau, CAPF. So they are doing well. So since we are following the ideology of great leaders of India, leaders means great personalities of India like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So I am expecting same from you people also on this auspicious day, that you should carry forward the legacy of ideology of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, you should speak through your action, and you should not just make some high-fi claims like the politicians and the so many so-called social workers. Okay, in every region they claim. Okay, so one should not do like that. Okay, one should speak with our actions. So when you people join administration, so behave, act for rendering social justice, economic justice to the people of India. Okay, so now let us come to the main topic, that is CSAT. CSAT is a very important question paper at prelims level. It's a paper 2 at the UPSC Civil Services examination, and even for MPSC State Services examination, it's paper 2, which is qualifying. Just recently, last year, UPSC updated, MPSC State Services, MPSC updated a pattern of so many other examinations like forest services, agriculture services, food and drug administration services, and engineering services. So for now, the pattern of all these services of the state government, Maharashtra state government, so they are also having 2 papers at the prelims examination. At the mains level examination, they are having different papers. Okay, but at the prelims level, they will also have GS1 and GS2, and all examinations in the state government along with the state services and plus rest of the engineering, forestry, agriculture, food and drug administration, they will also have this CSAT paper. So CSAT paper for the UPSC and the MPSC is qualifying paper, 33% qualifying. Okay, earlier it was scoring for the MPSC State Services examination, but now since last year they have introduced as a qualifying. So qualifying 33%, okay, is required to qualify in this paper, 33% score. So 33% score means what? There are 80 questions. Okay, there are 80 questions, and each question carries 2.5 marks. So total marking is 200 marks. Okay, so out of 200 marks, you need to secure only 66 marks. Okay, 66 marks. So 33% qualifying, this is there. Okay, rule is there, 33% qualifying rule. Okay, and if you count in terms of questions, so out of 80 questions, if your 27, 28 questions are correct, okay, after applying 1/3 negative marking system, so you are eligible for it means that you have qualified that paper. Okay, but the strategical point with respect to this paper is that you should not try to attempt those questions about which you are not comfortable. Okay, about which you are not comfortable. So basically, CSAT consists of 4 major portions. One is English comprehension, as far as the state examination is concerned. Along with English comprehension, there is Marathi comprehension also. Okay, so for UPSC Civil Services examination, there is in CSAT there is English comprehension, and this component of English comprehension, it consists of almost 35 questions, almost 35 questions. Means almost 40 to 50% weightage is given to comprehension, English comprehension. Out of those 55 questions, we can say few questions are associated with decision making. Okay, few questions are associated with decision making, and then few questions are associated with few questions are associated with reasoning and quantitative aptitude section. Quantitative aptitude section includes data interpretation, numerical ability, data analysis. Reasoning section includes analytical reasoning, verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, syllogism, okay, etc., etc. So mostly the reasoning section of CSAT, it consists of analytical based questions. It consists of logical based questions. It consists of questions which are related to verbal and non-verbal reasoning. So these are 3 to 4 parameters of reasoning section. If you compare reasoning section of CSAT paper, okay, UPSC or MPSC CSAT, then the questions of reasoning are comparatively easy. As okay, if you are comparing this section of reasoning or the numerical ability or the quantitative aptitude with the questions of the banking or the questions which are asked in staff selection examinations or rest of the examinations where reasoning and mathematics is the main portion. So you will feel that if you are having a practice of maths and reasoning of and even English of banking and staff selection, then definitely you are very much in comfort zone, okay, with respect to CSAT paper. Okay, so those who are having good practice of reasoning and quantitative aptitude of those examinations, and that's why many of the times I appeal you to appear for all small examinations of central government. Okay, I always tell you to appear for multitasking, which is on the basis of 10th, CHSL, which is on the basis of 12th, CGL, which is on the basis of graduation of the Staff Selection Commission. Okay, I appeal you that you should apply for LIC examinations, NABARD examinations, Railway Recruitment Board exams, okay, IBPS examinations, State Bank of India examinations, because this will ultimately help you to qualify CSAT paper very comfortably without any pressure. Okay, because if you are having your authority over those 2 sections, reasoning and the quantitative aptitude, it will become easy to qualify this component of CSAT. Okay, this component of UPSC examination. Okay, without taking any pressure. Okay, so most important thing is that you should have practice of reasoning and quantitative aptitude. Okay, next thing is that English. So basically for rest of the examination, English is asked on the basis of grammar, English grammar. Okay, say for example in banking, in staff selections, in rest of the central government examinations, in fact in the MPSC examination also, okay, group B or group B examinations, mostly English grammar, okay, questions are based on English grammar. Whereas in the CSAT paper, English is not in the format of grammar. English is in the format of comprehension. Okay, English is in the format of comprehension, and this comprehension is not at all easy. Even if you are a student who is having who is studied from ICSC, CBSC board, so in that case also you will find it difficult to identify the correct answers from the comprehension section, because comprehension is not associated with your just authority on the grammatical section. it is associated with your vast knowledge of different segments. Say, for example, if you are a well-read person and if you are habitual with reading so many things, like suppose you are a person who is reading different newspapers, okay, different novels, okay. Uh, Say, for example, if you are a good reader who is having uh, vast reading canvas, like you are reading philosophical literature, you are reading uh, literature related to environment, okay, and if you are reading regular newspapers, and through regular newspapers, if you are reading articles of the editor on education, on social issues, on environment, on constitution, on international relations, on different social issues, okay, on philosophies, etc., etc. So then what will happen? You will automatically learn a good interpretation skill. Okay, you don't need to uh, like prepare for CSAT section, okay, separately, specifically English comprehension. And that's why right from the very beginning, okay, why I tell you to read newspapers on the regular basis, to develop a habit of reading. Why? Because it is very important to uh, to to understand the things very fast and to interpret the things very fast as far as the English comprehension is concerned, because it is not at all associated with your spoken English. Okay, spoken English is another thing, है ना? But the most important thing is that you should understand whatever you are reading. So you should try to understand. You should have interpretation skill. Ki whatever I am reading, so what are the meanings? Okay, what are the different meanings out of that specific sentence? If I am reading one passage, if I am reading one small paragraph, so you should understand ki what are the multiple meanings, what are the possible meanings through that passage. Okay, so the most thing is that ki when you are starting, when you are taking a decision of preparing for civil services examination, so the first thing is that you should inculcate, you should develop a habit of reading English newspapers on regular basis. At the same time, you should develop a habit of reading at least few good novels other than your specific books of preparation. Okay, so if you are having this habit, definitely you will find it easy to interpret the things. Okay, you need to have a good vocabulary. Okay, you should have good vocabulary. Okay, so if you are having good vocabulary, if you suppose if you are reading an article or a novel which is philosophical, then ultimately you will find that there are so many words of philosophy here. Okay, if you are reading some novel about some great uh, emperor, okay, or some personalities, you will find a certain different words in English, okay, with different meanings, right? If you are reading some news related to religion, uh, uh, okay, or article related to religion, different philosophies, then you will have different words. Okay, you will come across different words, and if you are finding out the meaning of those different words, then definitely in comprehension section, whenever you are coming across so many different words, so ultimately what will happen, it will increase your capacity to read that passage very fast, to interpret, okay, to interpret that passage very fast, and ultimately you will develop ability to find out a proper meaning. And then if you uh, if you attain that maturity of finding out very proper meaning, definitely you will find out a very perfect answer out of that passage. So basically what is required for CSAT, the most important thing is that reading of passages very fast, very consciously, very accurately, and very apt interpretation of the passage. So if you fail doing this, don't expect, don't expect even qualifying marks in your CSAT paper. And this happened with so many students. Okay, you would be surprised that the engineers and doctors failed in the CSAT paper. Engineers and doctors failed in these CSAT paper. Why? Because of their poor comprehension skills. Okay, because of their poor comprehension skills. Second thing is that many of the students, they are weak in attending reasoning and the quantitative aptitude section or the data interpretation section. Okay, so even if they have mentioned 33% passing, but I would tell you that many of the students, means when this CSAT section was introduced first time, okay, after 2012. So immediately for the first 3 to 4 attempts, many of the students from the vernacular background, especially from Maharashtra, also from the northern part of India, okay, they failed continuously for the 3 to 4 attempts continuously. Okay, and then there was a protest, candle march at Delhi, and then there was a demand to increase the age limit for the UPSC examination, and that's why now you can see that during our times when we appeared for mains examination, when we appeared for interviews, so that time the age limit was 30 for the general category student. Okay, it was 33 for the OBC and 35 for the SC/ST. But after 2014, you can see that the age limit also increased by 2 years. So 30 to 30 age for the open, it became 32, 33 for OBC became 35, and 35 for the SC/ST became 37. Even the attempts limit that was also increased. For open, it increased to 6. For OBC, it increased to 9 attempts. For SC/ST, there is a age limit. So why this happened? This is because of CSAT. Okay, but that time CSAT was not qualifying. Okay, that time CSAT was CSAT was qualifying. Yes, CSAT was qualifying. But even though even people failed to score that much of 66 marks in the CSAT paper. See, okay, so it was very difficult, and it posed a very negative impact on the vernacular medium students. Okay, and that's why, because of protest and all these things, everywhere in the northern part of India, especially, you would find that people got failed. Okay, so mostly it poses an impact on vernacular. Okay, now CSAT is qualifying paper, and we can see that there are certain things which have been introduced in the CSAT. The nature of the CSAT paper is somehow different nowadays. Instead of asking huge passages, nowadays they are asking some small passages. Okay, so I'm sharing here recent CSAT question paper, and on the basis of that, we are going to discuss certain things with respect to CSAT. Okay, so this is paper of CSAT. Okay, and 80 questions, right? 1/3 negative marking system. Okay, 1/3 negative marking system. Ek TI is mentioned here, so ek TI means 1/3 80 questions and 200 marks. Time is 2 hours. So even after giving this much of time, you would find the students failed to attend all questions. And attending all questions, that is not our agenda. Our agenda is to attend almost, out of 80 questions, almost attend 60 questions or maximum 65 questions. Okay, and out of 60 questions, okay, out of 60 questions, suppose if your 45 questions are correct and 15 questions are incorrect, okay, so as per 1/3 negative marking system divided by 3, so 5, and 45 minus 5 means 40, and 2.5 into 40 means 100 would be your score, which is sufficient. Okay. Suppose if you have attended 50 questions, okay, just for example, if you have attended 50 questions and again, out of 50 questions, your 15 questions are incorrect. So divided by 3. Okay, divided by 3. So, okay, so 15 questions are incorrect. It means correct questions were 35. So 35 minus 5 means correct questions are 30. 30 into 2.5. So final score will be 75. Okay, 75. Okay, so now keep in mind ki out of 80, even if you are attending 50 questions and even if your 15 questions are incorrect, then also you can qualify this second paper. Okay, so now strategically my plan is that instead of going for so many questions, you should think about 60 questions only. Maximum 60. Don't appear for those questions or those passages where you are finding difficult. So out of 80 questions, if you are attending 60 questions, in that case, even if you are attending 50 questions, in that case also there is a possibility to qualify this exam. Okay, means CSAT paper. So out of 50, if 10 questions are wrong, then as per 1/3 negative marking system, only -3. Okay, -3. So -3 means 47. Okay, so 47 into 2.5, that means your score is up to the mark. Okay, your score is up to the mark. So first thing is that with respect to CSAT paper, to decide strategy, to finalize the strategy. Okay, so that is very important thing. Same is applicable to state services examinations also, right? Now, just take into consideration in CSAT paper. Okay, in CSAT paper, they are giving you passages. So passages are in Hindi and English. Okay, now see here. Yeah. First passage is given in Hindi, second is given in Hindi. Okay, the same passage that is given in English. Okay, see, passages are short. Passages are short. This passage, the main threat to maintaining progress in human development comes from the increasingly evident unsustainability of production and consumption patterns. Current production models rely heavily on fossil fuels. We now know that this is unsustainable because the resources are finite. The close link between economic growth and the greenhouse gas emissions need to be severed for human development to become truly sustainable. Some developed countries have begun to alleviate the worst effects by expanding, recycling, and investing in public transport and infrastructure. But most developing countries are hampered by the high cost and low availability of clean energy sources. developed countries need to support developing countries' transition to sustainable human development. Now, keep in mind, this is related to energy. Okay, this is related to sustainable development. This is very small passage. Many of the people, they are having this policy. While answering this particular section, many of the students, they are having some policy in their mind. What is that policy? First to read questions. Okay, first to read questions, and then to identify key points of the passage. Now, this is not possible with respect to UPSC or state services passages, because what is the problem? These are not passages which you appeared during your school levels. Okay, like up to 10th or the 12th standards. Up to 10th or the 12th standards, you are having habit to go through the questions first, like this, to identify keywords and to identify same keywords here in the passage. I hope this was a methodology of every students, those who completed their schoolings, right? Is this the methodology? Yes, during your school days?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is not at all applicable in attending passages of UPSC CSAT or MPSC CSAT. Don't do this. And that's why I'm saying ki you should be very fast in reading and interpreting the things. You need to understand ki what could be the multiple approaches from that passages. What could be the multiple approaches or multiple dimensions, not approaches, multiple dimensions out of that single statement. Okay, so see here, because they are not going to ask you direct question, they are going to ask you that question which is based on the same passage, but the interpretation is different. Okay, interpretation is different. They are having some different what you can say, interpretations. Okay, means you need to read passage very consciously, you need to understand passage very consciously, and you need to think about the passage. Okay, while reading passage, try to develop habit to underline certain important words. Okay, to try to underline certain important words, and after reading passage, just think on that passage. What author is expecting, what author want to say. Okay, what are the different, what could be the different interpretations out of that passage. So if you are able to find out that very specific interpretation, then immediately you will get answer to your questions, okay, which are followed in these passages. Okay, so since we don't have time to discuss the passages, I'm not going into detail, but see, this is very small passage. Okay, it won't take much time for the reading, for the interpretation. Okay, in few minutes you can easily read this passage, consciously read this passage, and ultimately if your thinking and the interpretation skill is good, then easily you can answer the questions. Okay, and while answering questions, try to take a proper judgment, because in answer part you will find similarity in the options, and you will be in a dilemma ki whether this A is correct, B is correct, C is correct, or D is correct, because whatever options they are mentioning, no, that are similar. Sometimes you will find ki A is correct, A is also correct, and C is also correct. So to avoid this dilemma, okay, what is required? Correct interpretation of the passage is required. Okay, so this is one point which I want to highlight with respect to this. Okay, and the thing while solving question papers with respect to CSAT, the thing is that with respect to passage, you should give preferences to the passages. Okay, you should give preferences to the passages. And suppose it seems that this passage is a short passage, so give first preferences to this. Okay, secondly, see, this passage started here, passage number 2, and then passage number 2 is ending here. So this is also small passage. You can easily read this passage and you can answer this passage, second passage. Okay, now just let me check whether our yeah. Now see, this is also small passage, not much this thing. Okay, exhaustive. This is very small. Okay, this is very small, but only one question is followed here. Okay, this is a passage where where 3 questions followed. Now see, this passage number 2 here. Okay, passage number 2 followed by 3 questions. Okay, so question number 1. Okay, question number 1, then question number 2 and 3. So followed by 3 questions. Okay, so it is advisable that you need to identify such passages where the length of the passage is small and the questions that followed are more. Okay, getting my point? Key, you need to identify such passages where the length is short and the questions which have been followed, okay, that are more. So instead of 1, means if you are reading a huge passage and after reading huge passage, if they are asking only 1 question, so what is happening? You are unnecessarily wasting your time. Okay, so that is another part of your strategy, that you need to identify those passages where the length is short and the questions are more. Okay, try to avoid those passages where length is also more and the questions are less. Means you are suppose take an example of this only. Means you are reading this passage, and if question which is allocated is only 1, then keep aside this passage for the time being. Take this passage later on. Okay, and give importance to those passages which are having a proper length and more questions. Okay, means this passage, short passage and followed by 3 questions. So give importance to this passage. Okay, so likewise we have so many other passages. Okay, here afterwards also we have so many passages. Now see, yeah, so this is again nice one, because passage is small and followed by 3 questions. Okay, passage is small and followed by 3 questions, but don't take these passages easy. Okay, means since they are giving, it's not like that they are asking you easy passages. Okay, they are definitely asking you complicated passages. Okay, so have this mentality that whatever you are doing or whatever you are solving, that is not easy. Okay, that is difficult. Okay, have this mentality, develop this mentality कि बाबा हम जो भी हम कर रहे हैं वो easy नहीं है, वो difficult ही रहेगा. Okay, तो difficult है और difficult को ही हमें ये करना है, मतलब solve करना है. इसी mentality के साथ हमें exam देनी है. Okay, so while attending these kind of passages, the very important thing is that कि you should decide your priorities. Okay, you should have pencil with you. Okay, while just the first important thing is that you should give at least first 5 minutes to understand the pattern of the question which is asked in your examination. Okay, in CSAT paper, and you should decide priorities. If you are going through passages, Then give numbers like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for example, if you are finding that this passage is good, okay, and you are somehow comfortable with this passage, then on your question paper itself, with the help of pencil, you can give you number 1, okay, and then start with this question number 1, okay, means this passage. If you are finding that another passages are quite easy, then decide priority number 1, okay. Then if you are finding certain passages are very difficult, okay, so you can give priority of 6 or 7 or 8, like that, okay. So decide your priorities, and to decide priority, it is very important to go through question paper, okay. At least you should allocate 5-6 minutes to go through question papers, okay. So this is about passages. We shall take different sessions with respect to this section. Now see, uh, these are certain questions, okay. These are certain questions, and 23, then yeah, these are certain questions which are associated with mathematics and reasoning section, okay. So the letters A, B, C, D and E are arranged in such a way that there are exactly 2 letters between A and E. How many such arrangements are possible? Okay, now this is question which is based on your logic, okay, and you need to understand certain tricks also, okay. So this is not a difficult question, right? But ultimately, practice is important, okay. Then here, consider the question and 2 statements given below. Question: is Z brother of X? Statement: X is a brother of Y and Y is a brother of Z. Okay. Statement 2: X, Y and Z are siblings. Which one of the following is correct in respect of questions and the statement? Now see, if you compare this question with the questions of the banking or the sub-selection level examination, so they are having different pattern. And the questions which they are asking in CSAT paper, they are more logical as compared to the questions asked in banking or the staff selection examination. But what I have told you earlier, if you are having a practice of that banking and the staff selections examinations, and if you are having a good authority over traditional reasoning and the traditional mathematics, then also you can easily solve these kind of questions, because that particular study develop your logical ability, develop your quantitative aptitude, right? And once you are having authority, you can easily solve these questions. Okay, then third question is: on one side of 1.01 kilometer long road, 101 plants are planted at equal distance from each other. What is the total distance between 5 consecutive plants? Okay, again, this is not a difficult question. It seems to be difficult, but once you are having authority over certain sections, so what is more important for say for example mathematics? So for mathematics, you should be good in finding out LCM and HCF. Okay, you should be good in finding out immediate percentage. Okay, you should have authority over certain subjects like number system, okay, numerical ability, decimal fractions, average, percentage, okay, ratio proportion, okay, time, distance, work energy, likewise. Okay, if you want to have good authority over uh, reasoning, then the portion which is more important is logical deduction. Okay, logical deduction, syllogism, that is the most important portion of this thing. Then sitting arrangement, puzzles, okay, and then Venn diagram, okay. These are certain important parts of your reasoning section. So if you are having authority over these sections, comfortably you can attend these questions. And the most important thing is that if you are if you have attended uh, questions related to reasoning and maths correctly, okay, then you don't need to appear for comprehensions also. You don't need to go for comprehensions. Okay, means if you are good with maths and reasoning, then give first preference to maths and reasoning. If you are weak in maths and reasoning, then give preference to the passages. If you are weak in both the things, then nobody will save you. Okay, मतलब आपका मैथ्स रीजनिंग अच्छा है तो आप मैथ रीजनिंग पहले सॉल्व करो. आपका इंग्लिश अच्छा है, पैसेजेस में अच्छा है, तो आप पैसेजेस को सॉल्व करो, पहले सॉल्व करो, बाद में फिर रीजनिंग और मैथ्स को दो. अगर आपका दोनों भी अच्छा नहीं है तो आपको फिर कोई भी नहीं बचा सकता है. दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. और हमारा दोनों भी कब रहेगा? जब हम पढ़ाई नहीं करेंगे, जब हम ऐसे फॉर्म भर के एग्जाम को चले जाएंगे बैठने के लिए, तो ये पॉसिबिलिटी है. ओके, सो नाउ another questions just I am reading here. This is such that there are 3 different routes from A to B, 4 different routes from B to C, and 3 different routes from A to C. In how many different ways can one travel from A to C using 3 routes? ये भी रीजनिंग का क्वेश्चन है, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग का क्वेश्चन नहीं है. Okay, A had some coins, he used half of the coins and 2 more to B. B used half of the coins and 2 more to C. C used half of the coins and 2 more to D. The number of coins D has now is the smallest 2-digit number. How many coins does A have in the beginning? If you are having experience of attending national talent search examinations or scholarship examinations, then these are those questions which you must have faced during that phase also. Okay, so the see the level of the questions. So level is not difficult. Okay, but the way in which they are asking, that is very logical. Okay, that checks your aptitude. Okay, and if you are practicing these kind of questions more and more, so my suggestion is that while before going for CSAT paper, you need to practice those questions which were asked in your scholarship examinations, which were asked in your national talent search examination. And the most important thing is that just practice last 3 to 4 years CSAT paper sincerely. Okay, even if you are not prepared, try to solve all questions, all 80 questions. Okay, all 80 questions in 2 hours. Okay, try to solve all 80 questions in 2 hours. If you are not attending all these 80 questions in 2 hours, then try to attend 70 questions. Try to attend 60 questions, whatever possible. Try to attend with sincerity before examination. Okay, and this is the right time to practice CSAT. Okay, means in fact for 2023 examination, still we are having 100 days. Okay, so those who are appearing for these examinations, coming examinations, so they can at least prepare, at least to solve 4 to 5 last year question papers. Okay, and if your average score is 80 to 90, then definitely you can qualify coming CSAT paper, definitely. Okay, so if you are feeling that you are not prepared, then also go for paper, means then also go for this practice of 4 to 5 papers. If you are thinking that you are prepared, then also go for 4 to 5 last year question papers. Okay, so see, now in the series, this is which letter appears at the 100th place. Now this question is formula based question. Okay, this question is formula based question. There are certain formulas on the basis of which you can solve this question. Then 3 persons A, B, C are standing in a queue, not necessarily in the same order. There are 4 persons between A and B and 7 persons between A and C. So rows and ranking. This is a question from rows and ranking section. Okay, so इसी तरह से आपको questions आते रहेंगे. And again, see, yeah, passage is given. See, small passage is given. On the basis of there, he has asked one question. Again, in between, there is a question: how many seconds in total are there in X weeks, X days, X hours, X minutes, and X seconds? Okay, then PQ, RST, and U are 6 members in a family. R is the spouse of Q, and U is the mother of the T, and S is the daughter of the U. P's daughter is T and R's son is P. There are two couples in the family. Which one of the following is correct? This is related to family puzzle. Okay, this is related to family puzzle. Okay, then consider the question and the two statements given below in respect of three cities P, Q, R, and S. Question: how far is city P from city Q? Statement 1. City Q is 18 kilometers. Okay, so this is again logical question. Okay, then two statements followed by the four conclusions. Again, this is logical question. All pens are logical deduction. All pens are books. Syllogism. Okay, no chair is a pen. All chairs are books. Some chairs are pens, etc. This is very common pattern in the competitive examination. Okay, so these questions are not actually difficult, but the thing is that you need a good practice to solve these questions. Okay, then again 8 students, circular table, equidistant. So this is again a question related to circular arrangement. Okay, so they have mentioned the 8 students in a circular, okay, circular table. Okay, likewise circular table. So 8 students. So in these questions you need to arrange students in circular way. Okay, so this is again not a very difficult question. Mostly in reasoning section we deal all these questions. Again passages, so small passages. See, passage 1, very small passage 1 and 2. Here also very small passage. Questions that followed are not much. Okay, 2 questions. Then next question is again related to mathematics, quantitative aptitude. Okay, this is a question almost related to your direct time. Okay, time. Okay, this is again not difficult. A person wants to distribute some pens. Okay, scholarship level question. Okay, so no need to afraid about these things. Okay, no need to afraid about these things. So most of the questions they ask in 2022 question paper, CSAT question paper, are associated with reasoning, quantitative aptitude, and again these small passages. Earlier there was a trend that they were asking questions which were very exhaustive as far as the comprehension was concerned. So now you are finding that passages are small. So very like they are asking small passages, and sometimes passages are followed by one question or the 2 questions. Okay, but if the passages are small and followed by one question, then that is not a problem. Okay, so this is last one. See, this is the last questions, again related to maths. Again related to maths. Okay, so in short, if you want to qualify this paper, so first thing is that you should have regular newspaper reading. At the same time, you should develop interpretation skill. The most importantly, increase your vocabulary. Fast interpretation is required. Certain basic chapters of reasoning, that is puzzle, rows and ranking. Okay, then Venn diagram, sometimes non-verbal patterns. Okay, coding, decoding. Okay, and syllogism, most important thing that is important with respect to reasoning. With respect to quantitative aptitude section, your LCM, HCF, ratio, proportion, work, time and energy, sometimes profit loss, simple interest, compound interest, all these things are important. Okay, so this is all about CSAT paper. Strategically, I have told you so many things. So the most important thing is practice, practice and practice. So this paper is basically based on practice. Our target should be to qualify to attain 100 plus marks in CSAT paper, because if you are on oxygen, means after attending this for this paper, if you are feeling that my score is around 70 marks and 72 marks, and then so it is very difficult to qualify. So you should not be on oxygen. I have found so many candidates, those who are compatible with the first paper, but they find it difficult to qualify second paper. So second paper, you should not ignore second paper. You should have a practice of the second paper. And that's why it is advisable to start solving last 4 to 5 years CSAT question papers. Don't solve those practice question papers which have been given by so-called topmost institutions of India. Don't give time. Okay, means even I am not suggesting this for general studies one. Okay, see, you are appearing for the high level UPSC examinations. So for instead of going for these practice sessions by so many coaching classes of Delhi and Hyderabad and online and this and that, it is your maturity, okay, our authority on subjects, on topics, which will give you result. Okay, and if you talk about the practice, then practice last year question papers only. That's it. Okay, last 5 to 6 years question papers. Don't go for this test series and that test series. Okay, I have came across so many students, hundreds of students, those who usually join some test series of 3,000 questions. Okay, 2020 test series, no use. Unless and until you are having a very authority and the maturity, you cannot solve the paper. And the UPSC is such a commission which is providing different experiments every year. Okay. So the thing is that you should think about the possibilities. Unless and until you develop this maturity of understanding the possibilities in GS1 and GS2, you are not going to qualify. Okay. So I think time is finished. Okay. And we shall talk in detail in our next sessions. Okay. So bye for the time. We should continue this CSAT discussion and rest of the sections related to CSAT in the upcoming lectures. Okay. So thanks a lot. Thank you very much.